With all the latest now this Sunday lunchtime, it's the ITV News.
Good afternoon. Prince Andrew paid tribute to his mother, the late Queen, today. Calling her mummy, he said he would treasure forever her compassion and her love for a son. The Queen Consort, Camilla, also recalled Queen Elizabeth's unforgettable smile. King Charles held an audience at Buckingham Palace for the Prime Minister Liz Truss, with a reception due for world leaders later today. On the final full day of the lying in state, there will be a minute's silence at 8 o'clock tonight. Ellie Pitt reports.
As the King arrived at Buckingham Palace today, he was greeted by crowds eager to see their new monarch, while he was preparing a welcome of his own. His Majesty will see the Prime Minister Liz Truss before holding a reception for foreign dignitaries who've arrived in London ahead of the Queen's funeral tomorrow. Before that final ceremonial farewell, Prince Andrew has shared a tribute to his late mother. Mummy, your love for a son, your compassion, your care, your confidence, I will treasure forever. I have found your knowledge and wisdom infinite, with no boundary or containment. I will miss your insights, advice, and humour. As our book of experiences closes, another opens, and I will forever hold you close to my heart with my deepest love and gratitude, and I will tread gladly into the next with you as my guide. The Queen Consort has also reflected on Her Majesty's legacy.
I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there. It must have been so difficult for her, being a solitary woman. There weren't women prime ministers or women presidents. She was the only one, so I think she carved her own role. She's got those wonderful blue eyes that when she smiles, they light up her whole face. I'll always remember that smile. That smile is unforgettable.
It's now less than 24 hours until the Queen begins her last journey to Windsor, her final resting place. And committed campers have already claimed a front row seat for history.
We're Canadian, and the Queen was also the head of state of Canada, and we're here to pay our respects after 70 years of service.
Part of the history, part of that moment, and just to say needs to come that you were there, and I did it all with my mum, so just to do it together.
And still they fall in line to pay their respects in person. Mourners of all ages walked and waited through the night to see the Queen lying in state.
It was a quite long night, but I think it's worth it.
Personally as well, I think to pay our respects, it's something that we just felt we had to do. It wouldn't be right not to be here.
Every salute you make is to the Queen, but this time will be direct to her. And that's what I want to do. One last salute.
These will be some of the last to pass through Westminster Hall, as the queue is expected to close later today. Then the nation's attention turns to the last procession in this final goodbye. Ellie Pitt, ITV News.
Well, as we were seeing there in Ellie's report, with the queues for seeing the Queen lying in state for so long, for so many days, people have been urged not to set off from home to join that queue today. Vincent McAvenny is at the top of the queue. Vincent, what have people been there telling you?
Well, Raggy, speaking to those in the queue today, it's taken them around 13 hours through the night to get to this point, Victoria Gardens, right next to the Houses of Parliament. And they say it was a pretty bitterly cold night. They were, of course, exposed to the winds lining up all along the Thames, but the camaraderie and new friends that they've made got them through it, and it was a relief when the sun did come up. Now, many of them I've spoken to have said that they've come not just for themselves, but for family members who can no longer travel, and particularly for grandparents of the Queen's generation who have now passed away. It'll take them around an hour from this point here to get through the airport-style security and into Westminster Hall to see the lying in state. And by the end of this tomorrow, hundreds of thousands will have passed behind me. They have queued for upwards of 8 miles through London, and it really is an unprecedented act of mourning in British history.
Okay, thank you very much, Vincent McAvenny there at the head of the queue. Well, a few miles away is Geraint Vincent, who is at the end of the queue, which is still very, very long. Geraint, I suppose there's going to be a lot of disappointment for people later today. It does seem that way, doesn't it?
I think there will be, Raggy. Right now, people are still hurrying to join at the end of the queue, laden with rucksacks and bottles of water and warm coats. There's a sense of urgency among them now. They know they will be among the last people to see the Queen lying in state. That is a ceremony which ends tomorrow at 6:30. The queuing time starting from here right now, you can see on the sign there, a minimum of 14 hours. A statement from the Department of Culture this morning said that they will be taking a decision this afternoon on when to close entry to the line. They've already urged people, as you say, not to leave home, not to set off, so that they're not disappointed. But doing the maths, well, it's going to be around 4:30 this afternoon that the cut-off point will be. I have to say, on my way here, catching sight of the queue as it winds its way in and out and up and down the streets in this part of South London, it is an extraordinary thing. It is in itself a waiting and walking tribute to the Queen's achievement.
All right, Geraint, thank you very much indeed. Well, 2 of the late Queen's horses appeared on a racecourse for the first time since Her late Majesty's death. With riders wearing royal colours today, the horses, Educator and Saga, appeared in front of the crowds during an open weekend at Newmarket. Organisers said it was to show everyone's appreciation for everything that Her late Majesty has did for the sport. That's 2 of the Queen's horses who appeared for the first time since her death today. And that is all from us this lunchtime. You can keep up to date with events as they happen online on our website. That's itv.com/news. I'll be back with a full update at 6. Till then, goodbye.